At this October 4th meeting of the Berlin Board of Health. I'm not going to do the whole script thing, but it will be by Zoom. Anybody that wants to participate will be able to, and a recording of it will be also available. And enough of that. We'll go right to the agenda. And just now that it's officially open, Bill is available by phone only tonight.
Okay.
Okay. I have two, Sue,
Yes,
you might have, I have two agendas I'm looking at. They're slightly different. So I'll let you cue up the agenda and we will go with that.
okay. But
If
if I
that's
miss
all right,
anything,
if that works for you.
that works, but if I miss anything, point it out.
No, we'll come back. Don't worry.
Okay.
I got the latest one.
Coburn Road. Discussion.
Okay, Coburn Road, that's the noise complaint.
Yep,
Mr. Choate. The junkyard has started to install the sound deadening fence. I
Yep.
drove by there today. They're posting the ground. However, I understand there was a complaint about the noise required to put the posts in the ground because they had to do some jackhammering.
Are you kidding me?
Not 100% sure on that, but I think that's what Bill alliterated to. I guess Michelle Delmar is a little concerned with the timetable in terms of their moving their noisy operations to a further back piece of the land. So the discussion, which will begin tonight, and I think we'll complete at next meeting, is establishing a little more firm time frame for Berlin Auto Parts to fulfill their noise mitigation plan, for lack of a better phrase. And something for us to think about. It probably makes sense to tie that in because their license is select board issued, to tie it in that their plan is in place, executed by their next license issuing date, which would be in the spring. I don't know offhand whether it's March, April, or May, but it's somewhere in that time frame.
Okay.
All things considered, I think that's reasonable, but we will discuss and firm that up at our next meeting when Bill should be present.
Yeah, and
Because
is
he's
that
the one in communication with Michelle. What's that, Sue?
is that doable for Vaughn? I mean, are we just picking dates and the guy has no idea?
Well, that's where the rubber hits the road. Is it doable for Vaughn? It may need to become doable for Vaughn. This whole situation has been going on for a long time. There are a lot of feelings, whether it's reasonable or unreasonable, and we're not here to debate that. Berlin Auto Parts is willing to change the way they do business to help mitigate the whole situation. And I think that's a major step, and they're starting in that direction. They've been there a long time, and problems like this aren't resolved by hitting a switch. There's a lot involved, and I, for one, don't want to penalize or unnecessarily penalize a business that's been there for decades. We have to acknowledge the complaint, certainly. I don't have a problem with that. And I think that's where we come in to come into play and saying, all right, there's some give and take here. And it's incumbent upon us to make sure that Berlin Auto Parts continues with the mitigation, and maybe try and encourage them that it's important that they that their time frame is expedited as much as possible. But I think that's all food for us to think about until the next meeting. I don't want to make that decision without Bill's direct input relative to his conversation with Michelle. I know he did speak with her, Michelle Delmar from DEP, and she's expressed concerns about not having a definitive time frame. So that's something we should and need to deal with.
One other thing, Paul, was the new administrator was not up on that. Did she?
Evidently
sign the-
not, based on the email that I think
Yeah.
I and others got.
Yeah, so
I
maybe
saw
we
that.
I think, yeah, I think we sent that, their plan to the selectmen, but I don't know if she did not get it in.
Well,
you
you
know,
know, I did meet with her about several things. She's certainly new on the job.
Oh,
Gonna
yeah,
gonna take her a while to get up to
Oh.
speed on things.
Yeah. nothing on her. She's a nice.
No, absolutely not. I get that she's concerned and a hard worker, and, you know, my initial take is that, you know, Margaret's leaving big shoes to fill, but I think Kristen can do the town well based on my initial conversations with her. But everybody, us and residents, have to give her a little latitude in terms of catching up. There's a lot of
definitely.
details that go on,
Right.
you know. And
Yeah.
she appears to be, you know, she wants to get her arms around everything, and I'm sure she will. It's just going to take
Yep.
a little bit of time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was Berlin. So that's Coburn Road.
Okay. 85 Boylston Road.
Right, is there anybody online looking to join us?
No,
Okay. That's the one where there's an existing house. They have 4 bedrooms. They want to eliminate one and
Oh,
add
that's right.
two. And they have a bathroom in the basement with an injector pump. The tank size they have is 1250. And with injector pumps, it's typically required of 1500. And Bill hasn't heard from the owner. So Bill suspects he's weighing his options and looking at it. At our last meeting, I was probably the one that said, well, you know, if you're going to go do that, you probably need to upgrade the tank to 1500. I mean, you're actually adding a bedroom. It's down in the basement with the injector pump. There's likely to be more demand and use on the system. And yeah, there's a cost to change out a tank, but it's far less than having to change out a failed system through overuse with inappropriate septic equipment in place.
Right.
But again, that if we don't have any plans, Bill said that at our next meeting, that's something we can review.
okay.
If anybody has any thoughts or comments on that right now, certainly share them.
Well, I had spoke up because I originally thought it was a 3-bedroom, Paul. And
Right,
he was just gonna move one, and Bill was gonna require them to put a 3-bedroom deed restriction on the place.
Correct.
Which if it's a 3-bedroom, it's a 3, and we deed restricted at that and that way, but if they're gonna add a bedroom and not take one, that makes it a 4, which it's what we were talking, so. I
it's
guess
gonna
we could-
become a 4-bedroom is what his plan is.
Well,
what we-
I think we could upgrade, yeah.
What we don't know at this point is how he plans to use the rest of the space and all that, which would be helpful information.
Correct.
So this is another item on the agenda that I think we have to table and move forward to the next meeting. We have no representative of him here, and we
Right.
don't have any kind of site plan or drawing of room usage, building usage. We'll jump in Bellevue Road.
He caught my ear, Paul.
Yeah,
Might be getting rid of some cars. Not might, he's making a list, he told me. And Vaughn will come get him. We'll see what comes in the next week till the next meeting, and we'll see what happens there if they disappear.
okay.
One
He initi-
driveway is completely open. The other one
He-
is still blocked with.
He initially was represented by Maureen Brennan, who we met with.
Yeah.
She is no longer with Bailey and Burke. I spoke with Bob Bailey today.
Yeah.
He is in a position of really not knowing the status of this situation and asked me for up to a month to get all the details and facts. In the legal profession, when an attorney leaves a firm for whatever reason, the firm has a requirement, a legal requirement to follow up with all of the attorneys, I'll call them customers, and find out the status. And it's a procedure that's required by law. I spoke with Bob Bailey at length today, and he's looking for some time to get his arms around the situation. And said he might need as much as a month, and I groaned, and he said, well, we'll try and make it faster. And I said, I think you need to do that. He wanted to make sure that I passed the word on to Bill Brookings, which I did. Because that firm, Bailey and Burke, at this point, has no idea what the status is of that situation.
Right.
I knew more than he did.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know. if
in
he's
terms
retained
of
them.
continuing that hearing, Bill suggested we pick another date. And at this point, I'm hard pressed to, because he has not sent a letter and he still needs to send the letter, but based on my conversation with Attorney Bailey, today's the 4th. We have a meeting the 18th, then the 8th, and then the 22nd.
Yeah, and isn't the 8th election day?
Oh, is it?
I believe so. So we'd be looking at moving this forward to November 22nd at this point. I
Okay,
mean, it pains me to do that,
I
but
know.
cold weather's coming. I explained what I'm aware of the situation. He was going to reach out to brother and sister-in-law of the party involved and see what he could find out. And, continuing saga.
Yeah, well, our family did some business with, Franny, which Maureen took on. We just got a letter the other day that said that she has moved on. Do we want to keep retaining her, or do we want to stay with Bailey and Burke? We're going through that issue right now of who I'm going to stay with, and I kind of know who it is, but.
Well, I can tell you this, that I called the phone number, supposedly new phone number for Maureen Brennan, and got a recorded message from, I believe it was Lisa Brennan. So
Oh,
I don't know what the situation is.
I think that's the
You know,
dog.
there's all, you know, with transition, there's
Yeah.
always some turmoil and, you
Yep.
know, getting all the wrinkles ironed out. So
Yep,
not
we'll
good,
move
not
forward.
bad, just what it is right now.
Yep. Okay.
Capital planning.
Yeah, it's that time of year again.
Yeah, whoopee.
yep.
And so I thought I should bring it up, make sure that we don't miss the boat if there was something important to put on the list.
Well, we got increased costs, right, Sue, because of fuel, and
not-
the mattress.
That's not capital. Capital
Okay.
planning is like a building, paving the parking lot.
Structures, okay.
Yep. Or, you know, big equipment like compactors.
Yeah. Or,
Well, we may
The
throw
dumpster.
something in there. I'm unsure. I have thoughts, but I'm not sure. I think Pete and I fundamentally disagree on this in terms of where the mattress container is going to go. And
Yeah.
depending how we end up, we may be in need of pouring a concrete pad or paving an area for the mattress container. So there would be some cost there. And I
Yeah.
can get back to you with that.
Well, we're gonna have to,
When's the
capital-
deadline?
the capital planning, I don't know when the deadline is, but the capital planning is for next year. Not to be.
No,
spent
that's
now.
true. You're not for this year. Sorry, you're right.
So anything costs that come up this year, it has to come out of our existing budget.
Well, that's your problem. You'll figure it out. I'm not worried. So.
Oh,
Yeah, very good point, Sue. Thanks. You just ruined my night.
yeah,
Appropriately too.
Good.
Yeah, okay.
but you know, I couldn't think, nothing hit me smack in the face, but I just thought I'd bring it up because you guys are, you know, more up on some of that.
Hmm.
You know, I will have a conversation with Fred Cummings from Highway just to get his feedback. Just from the operational aspect of how they get involved down there, and if he sees or knows of something that would make life easier, behoove us, whatever.
Sure.
There's still the very much dangling drainage situation down there. And I haven't
Right.
heard anything, so I'm guessing that contractor that looked at it, might be shying away because it's a bit complicated. It's not a simple fix. And, you know, they may have a plan on what to do. And if that plan doesn't work, they may be concerned about liability. And that's a conversation. That's speculation on my part. That's a conversation, also a conversation I will have with Fred.
Okay.
right. I know the town, we received a lot of grinded pavement, Paul, that might be used for a base for some spots, you know, for as your paving area. But that we would have to talk with Fred about it.
Yeah,
If
and that won't help us on this drainage thing. That might help with
Well,
the cardboard
yeah.
container, but
We could
So
speak to him about the drainage issue though, and see his thoughts on it, correct? also?
Well, he and I have already had conversations. We've
yeah,
met with a contractor
Right,
and
right.
I'm just waiting for follow-up information. That,
Okay.
that wheel has been running down the road.
And signage, Paul, for next year, new signage for mattress or new signage?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to add a couple items to our existing signage, and we'll do it like we did the last time. You know, something, a board that's 8 inches wide, and this is also now prohibited or whatever, so that we're
Yep,
not
yep.
redoing all the signage, we're just adding
Well,
to it.
that's, yeah, just add another, correct.
Yeah, that's all.
Yep.
That's
So
all.
Paul, would you share with us where you believe the mattress container should go and where Pete would like to see it go?
Well, my initial conversation, and he and I have only touched on this, so in fairness to us both, yeah, there was no real, it's gotta go here, gotta
Yeah.
go there sort of
Yeah.
thing. He thought a location for it would be where the flag container is. There's a dirt area there. And the opening would be to where the flag container is, so that the truck could pull up and pick up the container.
I don't know. yeah.
Lately, I've been thinking that maybe it should go next to the cardboard compactor with the opening toward the compactor end, so that there's plenty of room for the truck to pick it up by backing in from the take it or leave it shed.
Why not near the,
Uh-huh.
the Boy Scout trailer? Towards that end, no?
That's too far off. I think so, but good idea. but-
I think it needs to be closer to the operator's hut to
Yeah.
access a couple things. Make sure we get paid for what's being disposed of, and make sure that our manpower is nearby. And,
Okay.
you know, it's going to be a new venture for everybody. So trying to take that into consideration in terms of what might work best.
All right,
But it's certainly totally wide open for conversation.
Yep. We'll have to think of it, see what cost we might run into on that sometime. Yep.
okay. And remember, guys, we're supposed to start the mattress program next month.
Correct.
So it's coming up.
Well, we'll, yeah, well,
There is a webinar that DEP is putting on in the middle of this month that I'll be attending, see what pearls of wisdom they may have for us.
sure.
Okay.
Will we have a container, Paul, for the first, no matter where we decide to put it?
Theoretically, we're supposed to.
Okay,
I've got to call and find out the status, but I was told it would be close, but we should have it.
Well,
And
that's
if we
fine.
don't, we may just have to pile them up and cover them with a tarp if there's any kind of
Yeah.
delay.
Yeah.
We'll find out if that's going to be a problem and then cross that bridge.
Sure. Sure. We might have to hire somebody or talk to them just to haul the first couple loads if we have to, cover it and have them loaded and take them to
Well, I
wherever.
don't expect that we're gonna get swamped with
rush.
these things.
Yeah, a rush of mattresses right away.
Right. And maybe,
Okay.
maybe the webinar will give you some insight, Paul, into what other towns are doing and, you know.
Permits. There is one up to be signed, 5 Powers Road. It's a new lot,
Right.
but it already has the permit was signed and has since expired. It was signed like almost 10 years ago, apparently.
You're right.
The septic and the well, I believe, already exists. They're just looking for the permit to build the house.
I don't have a problem, but Billy would have the actual details on that. We could
Yep.
call him and decide to
He's-
sign the
he's-
permit.
Bill says it's a no-brainer. But he always
Okay.
brings everything in front of the board before he signs
Right.
off on it.
Yeah, it's an
It's pretty
approved
cut and
system
dry.
and all that. It's just that the permit has expired, so.
Right.
Our issue is just to make a motion to approve, I guess I'll call it a reinstatement of that permit or renewal.
I'll make the
And-
motion. I make
All
a
right,
motion.
let me just add the caveat that if we pass this, we're passing it with the understanding that Bill has a final say should there be
Yes.
any issue that we are currently unaware of.
Yes,
Yep,
All
I'll
right.
second that.
All right, all in favor, Sue,
aye.
Bobby,
Aye.
Paul, I as well. Okay,
And that brings us down to Title V inspection reports for 57 Summer Road, passed, and 8 Keys Road, passed.
they both passed, okay, good.
Yeah.
And that's all I have on my piece of paper. What do you have, Paul?
Well, that's what I have on my most recent printout.
Okay,
Same with me.
maybe Donna?
Let's see, anything else?
I can't think of anything.
I can't either. I think that kind of clears the deck right now.
Yeah. And, we'll have to set up and we will be canceling, we'll have a meeting in, what's the next one? October 18th? When is that?
Oh.
So,
Yeah, that's,
In person,
18th, yes.
in person,
That's in
October
in
18th.
person. Okay,
Yeah.
and then we might cancel the next one because of voting or,
Actually, Bill was asking if we could do the 18th on Zoom as well.
oh,
if there's not a big deal, I have no problem with it.
Right now, I don't see any issue with that.
I don't either. I'm getting pretty good at Zoom. Once I stop, I'm gonna miss it, you know?
And I would say we can give it toward the end of this week, just to confirm with Bill
Yeah.
that there's nothing major that's looming where we should be meeting in
Excuse me.
person.
Okay,
and
good.
November, oh, we're,
Right.
this Tuesday, first is a Tuesday.
Right,
So we don't have to worry about the 8th, so we're the 1st and the 15th. I know, because we do the first Tuesday, right? And the
Yeah.
3rd. Yeah, so that's the 1st and the 15th of November. So
Cool.
the 8th, we don't have to worry about for voting.
that's
So
right.
that's
Is
good.
that what voting is November 8th?
I don't actually know. I do the mail.
Voting, it's usually the first, no, second Tuesday, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
that, yeah, it says election day, for the 8th. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
Okay.
Okay. Well, maybe we're all right, sure.
Cool.
That'd be
very
good.
good.
Yeah.
I have nothing else.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
All right,
I'll second that.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
All right,